All ready to go. Thank you very much for that handoff, Jeff. Nice and clean. Let's take a look and see if these markets are nice and clean. If I click on corn, let's see what we've got going on in the corn sector. It's now starting to sink a little lower here, folks. 3 1/4 cents lower to 4.45 even. That's in the middle of the day's range. We can't get too excited about it, except for it's on the downside. We don't like seeing that. 2 1/4 cents lower in the May to 4.56 1/4. Look at the new crop. That's sinking too. 3 1/4 cents lower to 4.76 3/4. That's a penny off the low of the day there. But we've only had about a 4-cent range, so it's not that big of a deal. But still, don't like to see the down arrows. Soybeans, they've added to their losses. 21 3/4 cents lower now in March. We got an 11.99 and a half printout, folks. That March bean is struggling with that $12 line. We're at $12 and 1/4 cent right now, 22 cents lower. May's down 21 cents to 12.11 3/4. So we got to keep an eye on that one. We're losing steam here as we speak. So soybeans, let's take a look at the new crop. Well, new crop beans, they're down as well. Obviously, they're going to be down 15 3/4 cents, 1.3%. The price, $11.84. How about wheat in Chicago? Let's take a look at that and see what the Chicago wheat market's got in store for us. It's up 1.5 cents in the front. That's March, 5.96 3/4. We've got May sharply unchanged at 6.05 1/4. But we have come off the lows by almost, 8 cents, right? And we've got July down 0.5 cent to 6.09 3/4. That's Chicago wheat. Let's go to the hard red in Kansas City. That's down 4 1/4 cents up front. That's March, 6.17 3/4 is last. 4 3/4 cents off the lows of the day and about 7 cents off the highs. 3 cents lower in the May, 6.17 1/4 is last there. That's the hard red. Let's move along to the spring wheat in Minneapolis. 3 cents higher there, so we got some up arrows. 6.95 1/4 there. Trying to make a run to $7. We got up there and just above it and failed. We're down to 6.95 1/4. We're 2.5 cents higher in that May contract, above $7. $7.50 last there. So hanging on to the 7 line in the May spring wheat. Finally, let's take a look at cotton. Cotton was up all day today, 147 points higher. 86.64 is last. That's 26 points off the high of the day. Let's bring in our next guest analyst. That's going to be the venerable Tommy Grisafi. He's with Advanced Trading. And he's still in Bloomington. He's been in the principal's office all week this week. What's going on? All right, Tommy, what do you got for us?
I got a lot of fun facts. Okay, number one, it's the first day of February. We are establishing crop insurance. The reason is you put those quotes up for no beans and D's corn. It's so important is that we are establishing federal crop insurance. And when you dissect what this could look like at the end of February, even if we stay at this price, the American farmer does not have that robust protection to profitability like they did last year when we established at a much higher price. On a positive note, interest rates are absolutely collapsing. So the Fed did their little talk yesterday, their little meeting. Who knows what the comments were? I didn't even watch, but I did watch the reaction of the market. The 10-year approaching 3.85. That's good for anyone borrowing money, bad for anyone trying to make money, saving money. Also, after work, we have Amazon, Meta, and Apple with earnings. Those are 3 huge companies. Keep an eye on the outside markets. That's a big deal. With that, you're seeing various volatilities in something. Obviously, when we come back from the break, we'll talk about cattle. They're having an awesome day. I'm impressed with what cotton's doing. I can't say I know why, but I do like the price action. Every Tuesday and Thursday when you and I meet, that cotton seems to be going from the bottom left to the top right. Not many commodities doing that. But the most important thing before we go to break, I'm not going to let you talk. They're probably laughing upstairs in the producer room. And they're probably glad I'm not letting you talk, is that a Ukraine attaché went through and they said there's a little bit more grain in Ukraine, and they're amazed at how it's flowing out of there. So long story short, folks, is that China may not need to come to America to buy corn. And the USDA's numbers, although we have a bearish scenario, may even become more bearish. So what the attaché said we had versus what the USDA says, there's more grain in Ukraine, and somehow magically it's flowing out of that country. That is bearish. It's bearish spreads, not necessarily a bean thing, more of a wheat and a corn, but not good. So defense wins champions. When you were a young man, you were a football player. We got to start getting defensive on price, folks, and hope we go up. But corn could be overvalued by $1 if we have a 2.728 carry out. Right. Yeah. Now, I'm down at the commercial department, Advanced Trading. These guys do this all day, every day for 40 years. They deal in billions of bushels. They said they think D's 24 corn has a $1 weather premium in it. So if Mother Nature's kind, we have a problem. Let's take a commercial break, pay a couple bills. We'll be right back. We'll talk cattle.
Well, we're going to do that, but I just have to figure out if you could actually just be in your mother's basement with 3 different backdrops that you move around to: Fargo, Valparaiso, and Bloomington. That might be the case. You probably haven't really left yet.
No, no, and I'm just waiting for the meatloaf. After we go on break, and we yell, "Mom, the meatloaf!"
All right.
Hey,
All
Scott,
right.
before we go on break, say, "And I'm Ron Burgundy."
And you are Ron Burgundy. All right, let's. We do have to pay some bills. We're going to come back and talk more livestock with Tommy Grisafi, Advanced Trading, right after this. All right, welcome back. Let's talk some cattle with a guy wearing the cow jacket, right? That's only appropriate. If we bring up that live cattle board, which we've done, we can see that we've added to our gains as of the last time we visited this board. $2.42 higher now to 179.77. We're a nickel off the highs of the day there, folks. That's some good going. April's up $2.37 to 183.07. The buyers are back. That's live cattle. Well, that would mean that we've got some pretty good gains in feeders. Look at that. I think Tommy can tell us that we're $5 higher in the March, right? That's not quite limit up. 245.15 is last there. So far, that's about what, 17 cents from the highs. $4.65 higher. That's some good going. 250.80 is last 15 cents from the highs there too. So feeders making a run for it, right? They're going well to the upside. Lean hogs, they've been lagging, and they still are. They haven't moved. 42 cents lower in the Feb, 79.92, 20 cents off the low of the day. But look at April, down $1.75 to 83.07. And that too is about 25 cents from the low of the day there. So let's bring back in Tommy Grisafi, see what he's got to say about it. Tommy, what do you think about the beats here?
Impressive. We had that biannual cattle report yesterday, and they said we're not making any more cattle. Now, unlike grains, it can't rain a little bit more and the cattle herd gets bigger. So in grains, it's always, I didn't think it was there, and then it rained. They're not there. It's a big statistic. It's been a long time since we've had this few cattle. And with all the times I've watched your show and all the troubles around the world, and the whole farts are bad and you shouldn't eat steak, you should eat bugs. I could see why some people would be getting out of the business. The rancher's going to be facing some headwinds from the crazy Karens of the world, right? So, but with that, we have a great feeder board, a great live cattle board. It's real. These are actionable levels, everyone. Real quick, I want to go back to the corn segment. A client of mine texted me. I thought I was clear, but if weather's perfect next year and we put in big corn acres, we may be overpriced by $1 in corn. I think I said it wrong. You understood what I meant, right, Scott?
Yeah, I got you. Okay. I mean, obviously, you're not the only one to come on and say that. I mean, there's some worries that if Mother Nature complies, you got to be looking at puts rather than calls.
Let's look at the put and hope we rally $2. That'd be great. Let's lose 12 cents and make $1.20. That would be wonderful.
Right.
But sometimes people don't like buying insurance, right?
Well, because
no one goes to the doctor when they're healthy, Scotty.
Right.
No one goes to the doctor when they're healthy.
It's crazy to have that mentality because you buy fire insurance on your home. You don't get mad every time that expires worthless, right? So you got to take a different attitude when it comes to options on these things. Thanks for coming on, Tommy. Great stuff. Good to see you. Tommy Grisafi, Advanced Trading, and he's not at home. He's in some Bloomington, in Illinois.
He's just always on the road, really.
Well, he's a popular guy.
It's what he does, like you. What'd you do?
I'm not popular. I'd rather be here.
Thank you, Scott.